Hello, Mrs. Lovett here to work on April 30th math. The Sudoku, remember we've done these before. The rule for every row, column, and 2x2 box should contain each of these digits, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So if you do not come up with each row, column, or box that has a 6, 7, 8, and 9 in it, then it's wrong. So you need to recheck your work. Okay. Also, let's read this tip down here. When you convert from mixed numbers to improper fractions and vice versa, your denominator should never change. For example, 9/5 equals 1 4/5 because you're not changing the size of the pieces. You are just accounting for the number of the pieces. So any of these that do not have a denominator, you could go ahead and plug those in because you know 3 1/7 is going to equal 22/7 because the denominator is not changing. So that will give us a few of these already. So do we have all our missing denominators? Okay, I think so. So now, remembering the rules of Sudoku, since there's a 6 and a 7, this one has to be 8 or 9, and this one has to be 8 or 9. But just to remind you how we get a mixed number into an improper fraction. So like 4 1/2. So remember 4/4 is really 8 halves. And then if you added another half to 8 halves, you would have 9 halves. So I have my 9. Now, another way we learned how to do this is to take our denominator, 5, multiply it by the whole number 1, and you get 5. Then you add the numerator, 3, and you get 8 for the numerator. So 1 3/5 is the same as 8/5. And checking our Sudoku rules, we have a 6, 7, 8, and 9 in our box. So we know those are correct. Now, this column is almost complete. So if our rules are correct, this should be a 7 because we have a 6, 8, and 9. We need a 7. But of course, we're going to check this. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. So we get 7/5. Okay. Going across now, we have 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 plus 2 is 8. So we get 8/3. And then 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So we get 6/5. And we can check we have 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this row is correct. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 plus 1 is 9. So the numerator is 9. 2 1/4 is the same as 9/4. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. You get 7/6. So we have 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this row is correct. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And we already have our 10/9. So we have 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this row is correct. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. And then we already have this one complete. So 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. Okay, so we have 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, now this method of multiplying the denominator by the whole number and then adding the numerator is just a shortcut or an algorithm, but you need to realize that the difference between the whole numbers and the fractions, like in this one, 4/4 is 4 wholes, and then you add that other half, and that's how you get 9/2. Okay, leave me a comment if you have any questions. Thank you.